With 50-plus weekly options, the Sous Vide Kitchen robot has a meal to meet all your family's needs. Too busy to cook? No problem. Just don't feel like making dinner? You're covered. Need to eat when you walk right through the door? Sure thing. And here's the best news. Right now, Sous Vide is having its biggest sale ever. From easy family feasts to Sunday suppers, takeout favorites, and even date night dinners, complete with chocolate soufflé. There's nothing your sous vide can't do. With sous vide, you just scan a recipe, pop in your meal, and enjoy your day. Meals are ready when you are, thanks to the built-in refrigeration that keeps ingredients safely cooled until it's time to start the cooking. Sous Vide's Black Friday sale is going on now. Save $150 off your own sous vide, plus get 16 free meals for two during their best sale ever. Don't miss out. Go to sousvide.com/Dr. Laura. That's SUVIE.com/Dr. Laura. Hint, whenever any one of you says, for some reason, you're talking about your own life. You're identifying more with the person who has no friends than your kids who are getting hit.
Dr. Laura is on right now.
I'm going to open the program today reading a letter from one of you, probably listening right now, because I thought it would be useful for you to see how other people struggle, because it's a normal part of life and there is no change without resistance and struggle, and I get all of that, but I think it's really helpful when you hear other people doing the things you're struggling with. You know, it helps all of us. Hi, Dr. Laura. Wanted to say thank you in two areas. One, I called about 6 months ago and you helped me see a situation in black and white when I saw it as a gray area. A person we had gotten to know over several years continued to let her son hit my children. I remember this call. When the pattern was continuing over months after I brought it up several times, she always laughed it off and used psychobabble to justify him being a brat. Please do a segment on the horrors of so-called gentle parenting and parents who read too many parenting books. I found out she had told a mutual friend who I introduced her to that she said my boys were sissies. Now, I don't know if you've ever seen four boys, 1 years old, 3, 5, and 7 in a room together, but they are anything but sissies. I always say we should pad our walls. You ask why I would let my children be around someone who let their children hit them. Duh. Why didn't I simplify it earlier? I felt bad because she had no friends. And you said, you know, sometimes there's a reason somebody has no friends, which is something I knew, but for some reason, hint, whenever any one of you says, for some reason, you're talking about your own life. You're identifying more with the person who has no friends than your kids who are getting hit. Okay? Got that? Good. I put it on myself to save her, and it was not worth it. My life is a lot better without the stress of that friendship, so I thank you. I also wanted to thank you for helping me lose weight. Really? I didn't know I ever helped anybody lose weight. That's news to me. There was a call that helped bring clarity for me. I suffer from a joint condition where I suffer chronic pain. I had a hip replacement at 22. Rods in my back, makes me sit up straighter, several other minor surgeries, and I have hardly any cartilage in my knees. And keeping weight off, obviously, is beneficial. From back-to-back pregnancies and breastfeeding, I slowly gained weight and never took it off. And pretty soon my maintenance weight was 45 pounds heavier than when my husband and I got married 10 years ago. And your knees are not grateful to you for that, right? As our 10-year anniversary approached, I knew I didn't want to be this weight, and I didn't know where to start. With my joints, even simple tasks like walking have pain attached to it, so it had to be what I ate. However, I love to bake, and I love to cook. But a caller to you struggled with her weight, and you said, and I'm paraphrasing, being skinny is boring. Do you think most people want to work out and eat less? No. It takes time and consistency, and it's really not as hard as people make it out to be. It does not have to be complicated. And I have been telling myself that since May, when I heard the call, and have lost 25 pounds over the summer. I still enjoy cooking for my family, but I'm much more mindful. And I don't eat my sourdough as much as I'd like. Oh, that's where I would give up. To be honest. Yeah, I have no resistance to sourdough bread. Hot, fresh, toasted, butter. I know I'm not helping anybody lose weight right now. Sorry. But it's a nice gift as well. I also began low-impact free workouts on YouTube, and over the months have gotten so much stronger that I don't have to take my pain meds like I did when I started. I can walk farther with my kids and have more energy and less pain. I'm still working on the final 15-ish pounds, but I'm thankful for the simple advice. Now, unfortunately, with 4 small kids, I don't have time to listen to the call of the day live, but I listen to your podcast. Thank you for what you do. I've been fondly listening since I was a little girl with my mom. Sorry for the long letter. I know you get a lot of mail, but I was really happy with my weight loss, an update from the call, and I wanted to share. I also wanted to say my husband and I still chuckle at one call where a woman, whom I guess had never listened to you before she called in, asked if she should move in with her boyfriend and shack up. And after you read her the riot act, you said, whores are smarter than you. At least they get paid. LOL. Hope you have a great day. Sincerely. They do. They're smarter. And I hate when women put perfectly good call girls and prostitutes out of work. You know, it's not nice. My number, 1-8, by the way, to write to me, it's Dr. Laura at drlaura.com. My number, 1-800-375-2872. Nadine, welcome to the program.
Hello, Dr. Laura. You helped me a couple years ago, so I thought I'd call today with a dilemma.
Okay.
I just feel like it's me, so if you can set me straight. My dilemma has to deal with my neighbor. They moved in about 5 years ago, and we're both retired. I'm in my late 50s, as are they. My husband and I are native to the state we live in. They moved here from California. Not that it kind of matters, but maybe it doesn't to you.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like if I hang a simple strand of Christmas lights, they have the company come that does their whole house. And that kind of stuff doesn't bug me, but whenever we have coffee or just meet on the street or go for a walk, it's always a conversation about, well, we've got so much money, I've got to do this for my grandkids, and I don't have so much money. And I find myself being envious or jealous, and I don't know.
Wait a minute. Whoa. Question. Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
I know somebody once said to me, you know how much is enough money? And I said, no, how much?
Uh-huh.
And they said, a little bit more. So I understand. Money is cool. We get to do things, buy things. I get all that. However, as you said that, I was picturing myself in this walk with you when she joined us. And the first thing I would think of, what a rude bitch.
Oh, definitely.
No. You didn't say rude bitch. You said you were envious of how much money.
I thought it was me.
It is you. Why didn't you look at this as incredibly rude? Would you dream of having a walk outside your house with somebody and cavelling about how much money and what you're spending and all of that? Would you dream of doing something so tacky?
No.
Okay. So are you jealous of the kind of person she is?
No.
Keep that in mind. I don't think your husband would love her. But your husband loves you because you're not that kind of person, with or without money. Money is nice. It's nice to have more. Can't argue that. But I'm concerned that your first reaction was a comparison of finances rather than a recognition that this is an awful person.
Could I say something more?
Let me think. Yes.
Please, come on. All right. I think I know what kind of person she is, but my real dilemma is I don't really want a friendship with her. I don't like people like that.
Well, now we have, but you see, that's fine. But you can't tell me you don't want a friendship because it bothers you she has more money. But you can tell me you don't want a friendship because she's tacky.
She's tacky.
Okay, fine. Yep. So when you meet her outside, say hi and keep walking. Don't invite her to your house. If she invites you to hers, say, oh, that's very sweet of you, but I'm really busy. And have a wonderful day. It's no big deal.
Okay. All right.
But you started with one value system, and I'm trying to get you to end up with the other.
I appreciate it. It's clear. Thank you.
Okay. Let me throw this in. I probably have more money than you.
Definitely. A church mouse does.
Would you not want to be friends with me?
I don't think based on that, no.
There you go. Keep that in mind.
Okay. I appreciate it. Thank you.
And you can handle putting 2 rows of lights up if you want. I lived in a neighborhood at one time in the San Fernando Valley. Doesn't matter. I won't name it. And my area was a new area. It was a gated area. And my area was a new area. And so these houses were more than spectacular. And I'm pretty sure most of them cost more than mine. I loved my house. I didn't care. But on Christmas, I'm sure they spent $100,000 every house on the block.
Yeah.
Yeah. I put a little.
We've lived in our house 30 years. Yeah.
But I put a light in the front window. I mean, come on.
Going out big.
Yeah. Put a light in the front. That's it. All righty. My number, 1-800-375-2872. Let's see. Mary, welcome to the program.
Hi, Dr. Laura. Thank you for taking my call.
You're welcome.
My husband and I listen to you often, and we appreciate all the advice that you give to everybody.
Thank you.
I had a situation that arose a couple of weeks ago where my husband and I were working on a project together. And
what kind of project were you working on together?
We were putting up banners and for a grocery store, which involves climbing up and down a ladder and things like that. So after a very long day, my body just couldn't do anymore. I'm 65, 66, and my knees were hurting, my back was hurting, and you might be able to understand, but, I do what I can to help. I didn't have to volunteer to help him, but I felt bad because it was a lot of work, so I volunteered to help him, which I was happy to do. But after a long day, my body just couldn't take anymore. And I went to my husband and I said, I can't do any more today. I need to go sit down. And he got upset with me, like I let him down.
Okay, so how long have you been married to him?
46 years.
Would you have guessed that reaction from 46 years of being with him? Would you have guessed that reaction? Are you surprised?
I would not. Yes, I would be surprised. But what I'm not surprised at is the reaction that he came back to me once I confronted him.
But that's what I'm asking you about. I'm asking you if 46 years of being with him, when you guys are doing something and you're tired or something hurts, does he have a pattern of being thoughtless, uncaring, critical, annoyed? Is that unusual or typical?
Yes.
I'm sorry, what?
It's usual. It's usual.
Okay, then there was no point in calling me.
Well,
Do you
and I just
understand
say
what?
one more
Woohoo!
thing, and
Do you understand why I just said there's
I
no
do
point in
understand.
calling me? Okay, what's the point I'm making?
that I should know better, and I should know after 46 years. I
No.
do.
You knew
I get what you're saying.
you knew what kind of a partially at least crappy man he is. So it's not a surprise. So when he said something rude and crude to you, you could say, it's good that there are other qualities in your personality and behavior, because if this were the only one, being thoughtless, angry, when I'm in need, I'm physically ill, I'm tired, something hurts, instead of being caretaking and compassionate, you get mean and crappy. It's good there are other qualities you have, or I would have left you a long time ago. 46 years of you never saying that brought you to this call today. My number, 1-800-375-2872. I don't understand why you people wait around and tolerate abuse. Doesn't matter what he said to her. You're lazy, you're not dependable, you let me down. Doesn't matter. It's what he typically does. There's a narcissism there. This is all for me. You can't let me down. I don't care how you feel. I don't care what you're going through. You people tolerate decade after decade of that kind of verbal and emotional abuse. Why? There's a way to answer it. You're lucky you're good in bed, because this behavior would get you a divorce. Assuming he's good in bed. I hardly think a guy who behaves like that would be good in bed, because a guy who's good in bed is good because he's caretaking of his woman. And obviously this man isn't. So I presume she's not getting good nookie either. I'm going to take a break while you contemplate that. My number, 1-800-375-2872. I'll be right back. I always say I can't cure normal. Collagen loss? Unfortunately, it's normal. But it's also the number one reason you start to feel older, stiffer, and more tired. It begins in your 20s, skyrockets after 40. By age 50, you're likely producing only half of what you used to. Here's the good news. Native Path Collagen can help restore what time is stealing. 2 scoops a day delivers 18 grams of pure bioavailable protein. Support healthy cartilage, increase bone density, skin elasticity, strong hair, nails, even better digestion. It's flavorless and tested for absolute purity. And right now, you can lock in a special bundle deal at a fraction of the retail price, plus free shipping. So don't wait. Supplies move fast. Go to getnativepath.com/Dr. Laura. That's getnativepath.com/Dr. Laura. Feel it. See it. Start your transformation today. All righty. My number, 1-800-375-2872. Leah, welcome to the program.
Hi, Dr. Laura. It's a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you. How can I help?
Yes. So can I give you a little bit of a backstory?
Of course.
Okay. So I'm 49 and my husband is 50. We have one son. He's 11 years old. My husband wishes to move out of state. He has been wanting to move to the West for a while now. And
okay, you're giving me background, but it's vague. He wants to move, so he's leaving the family?
No, he wants us all to move.
Oh, he wants us all to move. That's good clarity.
Yes, sorry.
Okay, and what state are you in now?
Missouri.
And what state does he want to go to?
Utah.
And the reason behind that desire is?
It's God's country. It's nature. We can do pretty much anything out there. Skiing, hiking, camping.
And is he supporting the family financially?
Yes.
And what does he do for a living?
He works in engineering.
And does he have a job offer in Utah?
He can work from home.
Oh, and do you work outside of the home?
Part-time.
Okay, and what do you do part-time?
I work in the healthcare field.
Okay. Do you desire to move to Utah?
Sure, why not? Life's
Okay.
too short to be sitting around.
And so how can I help you? What's the problem?
Well, I'm concerned, what is the best approach to tell my 11-year-old son?
Guess what, George? We're moving to Utah. Want to see some pictures of where we're going? And we're going in September of 2094. And so you might want to spend some time with your friends, get everybody's phone number so you can stay connected. And these are the things we're going to be doing. You inform him. He doesn't get a vote.
Right. I would be remiss if I didn't say that this is going to be his third school.
And why it would be very nice if in the background you had started, since your concern was your son, saying, my son has been to 2 different schools and my husband wants to move the family to Utah and I'm concerned that it's a third. So that really is the problem. It was not how to tell him. Okay? Mm-hmm. So if your real problem is that this is the third school, how did that come to pass? When did he have his first 2 movements? How old? What grade?
So the first school, he went there kindergarten through 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
Great school, nothing bad about it.
And the reason you moved, you moved then was?
The reason is my husband wanted him to go to a more personalized learning, another private school.
In the same town?
Yeah, in the same
town.
I
don't consider that moving.
Okay.
That's not even in the same category.
But it was a big transition for him.
So what? Life is a big transition. When he doesn't have mommy worried about him and concerned all the time, he's going to have to rely on himself. That's a big transition. When he decides to fall in love and get married, that's a big transition. So it's really good that we support our kids going through the trials and tribulations of life so that when they're out on their own, they know how to handle it.
Absolutely. Now, should we tell him right this moment, or should we wait when we
You should give him all in advance, as I said earlier, 2029. Remember when I said that before?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right now, if it's definite.
Well, it's pretty definite. I mean, we don't have
If it's definite, well, if you don't have a house there, it's not definite.
Well, if we don't find a house, we will go and we will rent.
So you'll just get off the bus and look up rental properties, or will you do it in advance?
Well, no, we'll have a plan before we get there. But
good. Keep him apprised of the plan. He does not get a vote.
Mm-hmm. How do I handle his feelings when
oh my God!
Emotions?
This is why boys should be raised by men, and the women should stay outside.
Okay, just to support him, but just, this is what we're doing.
Stop thinking about supporting him like he's frail and he can't handle life. This is like he fell down. You run up. Let me look at the boo-boo. Oh, let me put some Mercurochrome on it. Let me kiss the boo-boo, make it all better. Father is there. Sees kid falls down. Goes over. It's not a lot of blood. Keep playing. Which do you think is a better approach for a boy?
Oh, yeah, shake it off. You're fine.
Right. Does dad say, are your feelings hurt because you fell down and people saw you?
Yeah.
No, mommy does. So mommy highlights the things that breed weakness. Oh, well, let's talk about your feelings about this. Meanwhile, the kid's sitting there and going, okay. I'm going to miss my friends. What's there to do? Are there going to be kids to play with on my block? when you're raising a son, think about what made your husband a man.
Okay.
Okay? I think mothers need to take classes in how to raise boys. But what about his feelings? He's going to have a bunch of feelings. But we have a game plan. This is what we're going to do. I'm sad I'm going to leave my friends. Assuming he might say that. And you go, yeah, me too. That's part of moving. Yeah. Okay, so make sure you take down everybody's phone number and address so you can write to them or call them now and then. Sometimes, though, once you move, all of that seems to dissipate. Once you have new friends and it gets familiar, you just clarify. We don't dwell on, oh, God, I know. Let me help you with your feelings. Don't do that. My number, 1-800-375-2872. Okay. Gary, welcome to the program.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm having some strange feelings.
Strange feelings.
I'm having some strange feelings that I don't understand. I'm 75, been happily married for 52 years. And I mean happily married. We've had our ups and downs, minor. Financially, we've done well. Everything, we've been blessed in many ways. But recently, our granddaughter had a broken heart from breaking up with her boyfriend, and it started making me think of this girl that broke up with me 75 years ago. No, sorry, 55 years ago. And I found her through her parents' obituaries, and she lives a couple hundred miles away. But for 5 weeks, I tried to call, and I just never did. I finally did, and she was so nice to me. We talked for 2 hours, and I got so choked up sometimes I couldn't even talk. But she was glad I called. She wanted to see me sometime. Just platonic friends.
And what is it you don't understand? What is the odd feeling you don't understand? Just tell me that.
Every time I think about her, I tear up. And in no way am I going to act on this.
Okay, Gary, you already have. You've already betrayed your vows and your woman. You've already done something wrong.
I told her I was going to do it. And she was She knows.
She's a good woman, and she's going along with it.
Yeah.
Inside, she's devastated. Your ego and being dumped and having the girl be nice to you, being 75 and thinking about being dead, all of these are congealing together. So,
she's happily married too.
Okay, sir, in my professional opinion, you did something wrong. You're continuing to do something wrong. You're acting like your feelings matter when you've made vows, and they don't.
You're right.
It's so nice to have. It's so nice to have a girl who dumped your ass when you were 20 be nice to you now. Well, I got news for you, sir. It's been 50 years later. She really doesn't give a shit. She broke up with you because she wanted to when you were that age. So that she's being nice to you today, in your mind, makes it all better what happened then. And you're tearing up for what could have been. This is awful. And this is what happens when we betray our vows and bring up all sorts of, as you said, strange feelings that are totally inappropriate. And it's really nice that your wife is allowing you to do this crap, but she doesn't like it. It hurts her. And you're supposed to allow yourself to be hurt long before you hurt your woman.
I don't want to do that.
Well, no more contact. And understand this is the woman who stayed with you for 50 years, not the one who dumped your ass. She owes better than for you to go back and repair your ego about the one who did dump your ass and make you feel young again when you've got one foot over an open spot and the other on a banana peel at 75. Wow. Okay. Lee. Is Lee how you say your name? Lee. How can I help you?
Yes.
Super.
Well, good afternoon. I'm actually just looking for your thoughts and opinion as to how and when in a relationship do you tell someone that you have a fatal diagnosis?
Immediately.
I'm a 68-year-old
Immediately.
woman. Well,
they have to know what they're investing in, and they have to know the details so they can make a decision.
Well, so based on that, I will end up probably spending the rest of my life without companionship.
You have no friends or relatives?
I had two dear friends who have passed away in the last 2 years.
You have no other friends who are alive and no relatives who are alive who can be supportive?
I have no friends who are alive. I do have relatives that are somewhat supportive, but you have to understand what this diagnosis is. So 3 years ago, I had a 3-minute episode of double vision and ended up with an MRI, which was read as having probable cerebral amyloid angiopathy.
Mm-hmm.
The only way to definitively diagnose it is with a brain biopsy, which is not something that I'm willing to sign up for,
okay,
which the doctors don't recommend that you sign up for. I have no symptoms, although they can look at imaging as far back as
Lee,
2018.
I'm so unhappy to hear this happening to anybody. This is awful, but my answer is the same. Immediately. This is not about whether or not you're going to be alone.
So
this is about
how do you
the respect
I have a fatal diagnosis?
I suggest that looking for a boyfriend should be the last thing on your mind. Developing friends, living life to the fullest, doing things you have put off, taking experiences you have also been nervous about doing, making your life richer. You can't count on a guy to give you everything like that. You can only count on yourself at this point. We can't use people.
I have been.
Okay, ma'am, sadly, that's my answer. I don't know. Pushing me to say contrary is not going to get a different answer. And frankly, were I you, I would get the biopsy and I would know definitively if I'm dealing with this or not. Me, I like concreteness. Mm-hmm. If you don't, then you're sort of playing Russian roulette with your life. So if you really want to make plans that include other people who have the right to make choices as to what they want to invest in and experience, then you're going to have to get more information. So I hope you will rethink, if it's appropriate, I'm not a doctor, an MD here, I hope you would rethink the biopsy. But that you might end up alone, sorry. I've got no boyfriend, no husband, but I'm not the slightest bit alone because I make an effort to nurture my friendships. You see, and when we don't, we're down to just 2 people that we can call a friend. I mean, dear friends are like 1 and 2. But nice and good friends, bigger spectrum. But that they would sacrifice to take care of us at that point and deal with our dying, if that's going to be prolonged or unpleasant or difficult and is going to require caretaking. This is your responsibility to set up. I mean, to have the fantasy that if you date a guy and say, yeah, I may be dying, maybe not, But I don't want to be alone doing it. What do you think? You might get yourself a very strange person, especially if you have money. My number, 1-800-375-2872. We're going to take a break. Come back with your calls. What's my prescription for better, stronger, happier relationships? Easy. It's the all-new Dr. Laura podcast, featuring a morning monologue by yours truly and a call of the day handpicked by me. Listen daily and get a dose of my preaching, teaching, and nagging at drlaura.com or on the SiriusXM app or wherever you listen to podcasts. It's all good. Mary, welcome to the program.
Hi, Dr. Laura.
Hi. How can I help?
I have a grandchildren behavior question, dilemma. I have a grandson who is going to be turning 9, and he has a younger sister who's going to be 5. And the behavior that I'm noticing with him has been going on for a while, and it's a recalcitrant, kind of headstrong, inflexible.
Can you give me some examples? I mean, yeah. You know, I kind of like kids that are headstrong. Ma'am, don't talk while I'm talking. Then you can't hear me. That's not good. All right. I like kids that are headstrong. Some people don't because they don't like dealing with that strength. They want kids who are sort of very agreeable. So I don't know where on the issue he is, but if you could describe behavior without no exaggeration, just give me circumstances. Let me see if this is something that has to be dealt with or you've just got to be more comfortable with it. I don't know. So tell me what he does.
Mm-hmm. Okay. He's on an iPad practically every waking minute when he's not in school.
That is not headstrong. That's bad parenting.
Yes,
so then we'd have to talk about the parents, not the boy. It's not his fault that his parents are not parenting properly.
Mm-hmm. Agree.
So you still want to criticize him?
It's more about worry than anything. I see him acting out with other kids, like at school. The school contacted the parents that he had scratched a girl, and
okay, I can't help you with this because you're not the parent. So unfortunately, I can't help you with this. You went from headstrong to now he's violent, and he spends too much time on it. This is parenting. So you might want to suggest that your kid and the spouse go to parenting classes because it sounds like they're not paying attention and taking due diligence and handling this in the best way. So this is a parent thing, not a kid thing. I used to love when I had a clinic. We had a bunch of us therapists all working in my clinic, and once a week we would get together and talk about our cases so we would help each other with insights, with suggestions. It's a very healthy, very good thing. So you're paying for one therapist and you're getting 5 helping you. And one of the things we all agreed to is how many times parents would bring in their kids, fix this kid. This kid is doing this, that, or the other thing. The parents were the problem. The kid's just reacting to what his milieu is. That's why I really get, when people say they want to bring the kids in to help them, it's usually the parents. A lot of people don't like to hear that. I go, do the right thing. Every family has a few turkeys. If you're starting to get anxious about spending the holiday with yours, don't fret. I'm here, ready to talk you through whatever stress might be bubbling up. So put your mental health at the top of your to-do list and give me a call at 1-800-Dr. Laura or schedule a time to talk on air. Go to drlaura.com, make an appointment to join me on air. I'm live every Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Pacific Time, 2 to 5 Eastern, on SiriusXM Triumph Channel 1, 2, 3.